with Grow Your Life, the program that goes beyond houseplants and gardening.
Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm your host, Ofra Gato from Verdant Life, and we are here every Friday at 1:45 p.m. with the program Grow Your Life. And today we will be talking about, basically, I'll give you some tips for protecting your garden and the surrounding items in your garden in winter. So first of all, I hope you all had a beautiful Thanksgiving with your friends and your families. And we will start with our subject, which protecting your garden during the winter month is crucial to ensure that your plants survive the cold and thrive when growing season returns. And here are some ideas and effective strategies to protect your garden in winter. So, because we are at Verdant Life, grow plants and ship them all over the United States, and developed our own methods of packing them. We want to make sure that when you have your own plants at your homes, your gardens, you protect them as well in winter, because many areas are not like in Florida, full of snow and blizzards, etc. So first of all, I would recommend mulch your plants. The mulch is a very good insulator to the soil. It keeps the roots from freezing and it reduces the risk of frost heaving, where the freezing and thawing of the soil causes roots to be pushed out of the ground. You have to apply the mulch, such as straw, wood, chips, leaves, or compost around the base of the plants, about 3 to 4 inches thick. And you have to be sure to leave a gap around the stem of the trunk to prevent rot. Very important. Also, we recommend covering the plants with frost cloth or burlap. And it can help protect sensitive plants from freezing temperatures and dying from the winds, basically. So you cover with the cloth the plants, and especially those that are very tender and borderline hardy in different climate zones, and use stacks to keep the fabric off the plant and avoid direct contact to the plants because it can cause damage. You remove the covers during the day when the temperatures rises to prevent the plants from overheating. And then in the evening, you put it back again. You can also create windbreaks. Wind can desiccate, they can dry out plants and damage branches. So a windbreak can reduce the exposure of your garden to harsh winter winds. And you can do that by basically planting evergreen shrubs or trees around the perimeter of your garden to act as a natural wind barrier. Or you can use fencing or lattice panels to block strong winds. Another important issue regarding pruning, you have to do it very carefully because pruning removes dead or damaged branches that could break under the weight of snow or ice, but it also helps to prevent fungal diseases. But remember to prune only the dead, diseased, or damaged wood. Avoid heavy pruning in the fall, as it can stimulate new growth that will be more susceptible to frost damage. So the proper pruning, in order for the plant to start growing nicely, wait until late winter or early spring for these major pruning needs. Okay. Many plants are inside containers. And those container plants are particularly vulnerable to cold because their roots are exposed. So those containers are above the ground, not inside the ground, and those roots are more exposed to freezing temperatures. So move potted plants to a sheltered location like a garage, shed, or under eaves of the house. If you can't move them, insulate the pots by wrapping them with burlap, bubble wrap, or using pot covers that are basically designed for winter protection. You can also group the pots together to provide some mutual insulation that way. So that is another idea. Watering before the freeze is an important issue that you should remember, because well hydrated plants better able to withstand cold temperatures. So dry soil can lead to root damage. So water your garden thoroughly in the fall before the first hard frost. But avoid watering if the ground is already frozen. Do not do that, okay? Or if the ground is excessively wet. The goal here is to make sure that the soil has moisture to protect roots from desiccating over the winter. So do it very carefully, but you are the one to judge. Remember, once again, that here at Verdant Life, we sell hundreds of plants. We ship them all over the country, and we have different type of nursery. It's an indoor nursery with a greenhouse. In the greenhouse, we keep carnivorous plants, which are beautiful. We have about 11 different kinds of carnivorous plants. Next week, we are getting back again the Cape Sundew. We were out of this plant for many, many months, and that's one of the carnivorous that we keep. So come and visit us if you are in South Florida. You will love what you see. We are the largest supplier of carnivorous plants in South Florida. And we have plenty of other house plants, some for outside, cactuses, succulents, gardenias. We have cherries, different pineapple plants as well. Now, back to our subject, use different covers. So for those of you that grow vegetables, use raw covers on cold frames for vegetables. Cold frames and raw covers create microclimates that can extend the growing season and protect vegetables from frost. So they lightweight fabrics that allow sunlight and water to pass through, but protect against cold and pests. A cold frame is a small insulated structure that can act as a mini greenhouse. Both can be used to protect crops like kale, spinach, and carrot if you are into growing vegetables in winter. Now, something very important, I think, that we don't actually realize, you should avoid heavy foot traffic, because walking on frozen or saturated soil can compact it, damaging the structure and making it harder for plant roots to access nutrients in the spring. So don't walk on your garden beds during the winter, especially if the ground is frozen or muddy. If you need access areas, then use wide boards to distribute your weight. Okay. Snow, can act as an insulation. So it is a natural insulator and it protects plants from extreme cold and temperature fluctuations. So if you live in a snowy area, allow the snow to accumulate around your plants, especially the perennial plants. and avoid shoveling it off if it is not necessary, as the snow can provide valuable insulation in winter. Another subject that is important is to protect from salt and chemicals, because salt used for melting ice on roads and walkways, and it can be harmful to your plants. So keep the salt or the chemicals away from your garden by using sand or gravel on walkways instead. If salt has been used near your garden, rinse off the soil around affected plants with water to reduce the buildup of the salt. And if you take those proactive steps, you'll definitely help your garden, whether the winter month comes badly, and then in spring you will see beautiful results. Your garden will be coming back to itself. There are many garden tools that are exposed to moisture and can cause many metal parts to rust. Wooden handles to wrap, and I recommend to wrap them, and plastic components will crack if you don't take care of them. Tools like shovels, racks, hose, and pruners should be stored in dry places. Clean, of course, your tools before you store them for winter. Plastic pots, they also can become very brittle in freezing temperatures, as I mentioned earlier on. So over time, freezing and thawing them can cause them to split. Clay and terracotta pots, as the material is porous and can absorb water. So when the water freezes, it can cause the pots to crack or break, so protect those clay and terracotta pots as well. Many garden furnitures, especially the wooden or fabric, you need to protect them. Tables can rot, or, make sure that the rain and freezing temperatures don't ruin those temperatures. Fabric cushions, umbrellas, also should be brought inside to the garage or under covered area. Watering cans and hoses can also get damaged. They can freeze inside, watering cans and hoses, leading to cracks and bursts. So a frozen hose is tough to store, and the freezing water inside can damage the nozzle or hose material. So drain the hoses and store them in a shed or garage. Storing the cans upside down in dry places. Wooden planters can absorb moisture, causing them to swell, rot, or crack in freezing conditions. So you need to cover to move them, etc. Barbecue grills and fire pits can rust and deteriorate when exposed to moisture, ice, and snow. So there are different things that we need to protect in order to maintain our garden in a good condition back again when spring comes. So cover the items or bring them indoor, use tops, furniture covers, or breathable fabrics to protect them from the elements. Okay, store them in the shed or garage. If you have space, move the tools, the pots, and decoration indoor to prevent weather-related damage. And, by properly storing them, you extending their lifespan, and you have them ready once the weather warms up back again. And remember, if you need plants this holiday season for your family, for your friends, it's the season of giving. We are here at Verdant Lyfe. We ship plants all over the United States, and you spell Verdant Life VERD as dream, ANTLYFE.com. And for you, the listeners, we have Omega 20, which is 20% discount code for especially Omega Radio listeners. And I'm here going to be with you again next Friday at 1:45 p.m. And be kind and enjoy each other this holiday season. And remember, kindness is like snow. It beautifies everything it covers. Bye-bye for now.